Okay, let's get started. I don't want to take up too much of your time. Promised 15 with Fallon, so we want to keep it at 15 minutes. That way you can get back on the road and do your things, do your calls. So happy New Year, everyone. Thank you for coming back. If this is your first time, we are starting a series. It's called 15 with Fallon, and it's calls for real estate agents, and we're going to cover everything from, tips and tricks to run your business, loan products, financing questions. We're going to cover it all. So today is very important because it's the new year, it's 2023. And so we're going to go over how we can set and plan our goals to just knock this year out of the park. Okay, I'm sure that you've maybe heard of different ways to do goal setting, but my goal today is to give you something that you can take with you that's going to drive you and make this year a success. So just to kind of start everything off, I want to introduce you guys to Danielle Ice. Danielle, hello.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. She's fantastic. She's an LOA here at Movement in Mandeville. She's basically the glue that holds all the pieces together. If you've done a deal with me, there's a good chance that you've had interaction with Danielle. So we're so happy to have her here. She will be monitoring the chat. So if you have questions, please feel free to put it there. And she's also going to keep me on track because I don't want to take up too much of your time. So Danielle, start that timer for 15 minutes and let me know whenever I'm getting close to it. So,
all right.
To get started, what I want to talk about is putting your goals down on paper. So if you, after this call, I want you to visit 15withfallon.com, and Danielle's going to put that web address in the chat so you have it. It's spell out 15 with Fallon, and my name is FALEN.com. On this site, this is going to basically become a hub of all of the agent tools that we put together and create for you guys. And it'll coincide with the different calls that we do. So under agent tools, I want you to check out, it's the 2023 goal planning packet. After this call, I'd love for it to be sometime today, sometime very, very soon this week. Find a place and a time that you're going to sit down and you're going to go through these goals. Don't do it at your house. Don't do it at your office. Go to like a library or somewhere that's quiet, no distractions, and really put a good, hour, 2 hours into this and just really be honest with yourself. So the first thing about goal planning is you have to figure out what your why is. And I'm going to pull up that packet so you can see what it looks like. And I'm not going to go through the whole packet because it's very self-explanatory, but I want you to just basically see what it looks like. Here it goes. Can you see that, Danielle?
Yep, we can see it.
Perfect. All right. So starts with your why. And I think everyone just basically says, well, I do it for money. I need you to drill down deeper than that. What's the money for? How much money do you need? Is it for your family? What do you want to do with that money with your family? Is there a vacation that you want to take with your family? Is there, maybe some extracurricular activities that you'd like to do with your children? Really drill down into that, because that's what you're going to refer back to regularly. I think that you should really refer back to it daily because, as time goes by in the year, sometimes we lose some of that motivation. But if we stick to really knowing why we get up in the morning, why we take these client calls that might be bugging us, why do we do what we do? You need to come back to this why part. So fill this out, really think about it. And as you go through the packet, you're gonna reflect on last year. You're gonna see, what did you do well? Maybe what would you do differently if you could do it all over again? What habits, do you want to create? What habits do you want to stop? So go through this and be as honest as you can with yourself. Now, the most important part, one of the most important parts, is you need to know your numbers from last year. And there's so many agents that they'll know their volume. They'll know that they did X amount of million for the year, but I need you to get more specific, because that doesn't That doesn't tell you exactly what you're bringing home. So I need you to know your numbers, see what's your conversion rates, what's your commission split, what's your average commission on each deal. And also, if you refer to 15 with Fallon's website, is another one of the agent tools that we put together for you, is a income calculator. I'm not going to discuss the entire calculator on this call, but just know that the first top half of the calculator is going to help you figure out how many deals you need to close based on your specific information and what you've done last year. How many do you need to close this year to actually take home the amount of income that you need or want to take home? So check that out whenever you get a chance. Know your numbers. Now, the next part that I want to cover with you, because again, I'm not going to go over all of this. We just have 15 minutes, but it's the self-evaluation survey. This is when you really need to look in the mirror and you need to give yourself no mercy, because we all like to kid with ourselves and think that we're great at our marketing because we spend time on Facebook and we're great at this and that. But there's a difference between being busy and being productive. So when you go through each one of these segments, I want you to really rank where you're at in this. What are you good at? What are you nailing? What's kind of giving you a little bit of a difficult time? So this is the meat and potatoes really of the goal setting packet that I want you to fill out. This is going to give you focus. I mean, we can talk about, okay, what's your goals? And you can come up with a list of, 20 to 50 of them, but we need to figure out what is attainable, what's going to help your business the most. And by figuring out maybe what your 3 weaknesses are, if you focus on those things, you're going to see your business grow. You're going to see that you're becoming a very well-rounded agent, and you're not going to have those dips that maybe, might lose you some business, or, maybe you might just be leaving business on the table because maybe your follow-up is not where it needs to be. So this is going to give you direction and focus. Now, with the lowest scored parts, so your weak parts, I want you to set goals on how you're gonna improve those, and not just any goals. I want you to set SMART goals. And a lot of you may be familiar with SMART goals. SMART is an acronym. I'm going to show you here. It stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. So when you're putting any goal on paper, it needs to check all of these boxes. Okay, you can't just say, I want to do better at my follow-up, or I want to make a lot more money this year. You need to put numbers to this. It needs to be something that you can break down into smaller pieces. So let's say your goal is to close 20 loans. Let's say 24 loans this year. Okay. Well, you need to break it down into monthly. 2 monthly. You need to break it down into weekly. You need to break it down into daily. What tasks are you going to do daily to hit that number? And you not only do you need to write it down, you need to revisit it every single day. You need to stay on track, and you need to track your progress. How many calls are you making? How many contacts are you doing? How many lunches are you going on? And there is an entire call that we can do on almost every single one of those sectors that you're going to judge yourself on. And in fact, our next call, we will cover one of them in more depth. So I want to keep this as general as possible, because I don't know how you're going to score. You may score, completely differently than, an agent that's in the same area as you. So once you know where your weaknesses are, we'll know where to focus. And we're going to cover tips and tricks on how to accelerate either your education or your implementation of how you execute those things. So there's a place for you to put your goals. I do want to say that without the tracking, this is all gonna not make a whole lot of sense. I mean, it's still gonna be valuable, but we need to have some kind of daily tracking of what we do. Let me turn my screen off. To help you with that, we're all human. We all mean to do well. We all wake up every morning and, we're like, we're going to kill it today. And then life gets in the way. So besides just the tracking, I recommend that you find some kind of accountability partner. That could be your broker. That could be one of the agents that you work with. Find someone that, you have a set day and time that maybe you do a phone call. Maybe you grab breakfast or lunch with this person, once a week, and go over what are your struggles. How well did you do? Did you make the number of contacts that you wanted to make this week? Go through those things. And when you have that accountability partner, it will keep you on track. There are a lot of coaching opportunities out there where you can sign up for coaching. And I'm not saying that that's not a great idea. That's great accountability. But if you want something that's not going to cost you a whole lot of money and is going to be very beneficial and valuable in your business, let's find somebody. Just find an agent that you might be able to work with, or someone that that you might be able to work with, to just keep each other, accountable for your goals. So that is basically what I wanted to cover today. Danielle, were there any questions in the chat?
Just to wrap up, I think just a quick question came in about accountability partners. If they're working independently and not really with other agents much, who can they use as an accountability partner, or what can they really do?
Completely understandable. Some agents do work very independently, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be someone in the industry. It could be a friend or a relative, because I'm sure that in their life, they have certain goals that they want to meet as well. So, find someone that you're comfortable with, someone that you trust, someone that you can count on to commit to this, and make them your accountability partner. It'll be beneficial for both of you, no matter what industry you're in. So, great question. I think that no matter how you're doing it, as long as you're doing it, you're going to be successful. And that's all that really matters in order to make sure that we're hitting our goals in this market. It's a different market. Just to kind of wrap up, we did talk last week about, temporary buy downs. We did talk a little bit about what's going to happen with the rates. So when these rates do come down, guys, it is going to increase the activity in this market. So right now is the time that you need to be in front of these people. You need to be doing all of your dailies and sticking to it. This is not a time to take a break. You want to be the person they think of when that market switches and they're calling you because they need to get in right now. So keep up the great work, everyone. Thank you for being on the call. You being on the call shows that you are dedicated to improving your business, improving your knowledge of the market. So I appreciate every single one of you, and I want to hear from you. Please let me know. Send me an email, send me a text. Let me know what you want to learn. Let me know what you want, like me to cover. There's so many topics that we have planned for you, and I'm excited to give you this content, but let me know what you're looking for so we can make sure it's a part of our curriculum. So if there's no other questions, then I will let y'all get back to your work today. Thanks again, and I will see you on the next call. Bye.
Bye.